everyone, my name is Yuri from Mouse, and we are back for a new iRacing season for the GT3 VRS Sprint Series. And it's already season 2 again of the 2024 iRacing season, and we're going to start out our new season on a new track. It's Portimao or Circuit de Algarve, and as you can see, it has a lot of elevation. There's also been enough on this track. It's a very nice track. About time this came to iRacing, and about time for us to learn it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so here we are. End of the lap. Race fuel as usual, but we're in a new season. New track. Unfortunately no rain because of the Ford and McLaren VRS. But that does mean it's always consistent. If you don't like the rain, VRS is a good series. We're on a new track, Portimao, and for turn 1 we're going to be wanting to use all the road and a bit, so 2 tires over the curb on the left side, like just before the white line. And just before the white line on the outside here again. Again, use as much track as you can, keep it tight on the exit. Got to get a good run over the top here. Really easy to lose the rear. Focus on a good exit from the hairpin here. Keep it left hand side. Careful with the rear. Try to get a good exit. Keep it left hand side here as well to brake in a straight line. And again, we have to be patient here. The rear of the car likes to come around. Brake quite late here. Careful with the rear here as well, throttle early. A small lift over the crest. And then flat out again. That's the lap around Algarve. Right, so here we are from the outside cam. Let's have a closer look at the lap. And for turn 1, we want to be running all the way on the left side. And you have to be careful because this curb here is quite high. So you want to be braking with the left side tires quite a bit away from the curb. But the right side tires can't be too much on the curb either, because it's quite a rough curb. It will upset the car. If you brake too close with the left side tires to this curb, you can't really get a nice line over it, and it will kind of get stuck behind the curb. And we want to brake a bit before the white line here. The entry speed is not what's most important. What's most important is the speed you carry through the corner. And as I said, this curb kind of upsets the car, so you don't want to be pushing it too much. Still going over the curb, from my experience, gains you a bit of time compared to all the way on the right side here, because you get quite a nice line into the corner like this. Again, try to get a decent line over the curb. When you go over the curb here, have like a decent angle of the car. If you're too close to the curb before you start turning in, it can get caught behind curb a bit. And get close to the apex here, obviously. Close to the off track, 2 tires on this white and red curb is fine, won't be an off track. Close here again, and again here. This curb is a bit lower, so it allows us to brake on it a bit easier. Again, we brake like 10 meters before this white line. We get a really tight hairpin, and we want to keep it really tight on the exit here. You can see the rubbered line going quite a lot wider here. I like it to keep it a lot tighter than this rubbered line, to open up the next left-hander, and then the next left-hander is almost flat. You struggle a bit with the rear if you try to keep it flat, but it can be almost flat if you can open the corner up from all the way on the right side here and not from the inside. You see, small lift on the top here to keep the car stable. and you get a much better run into this straight coming up. Then for the braking here, it's quite tricky to see. There's not really a marker on the right side here, not really a marker on the left side. So let's go from the cockpit cam, and then you see these two kind of kinks and how the track goes down. So first one here, second one here, and I tried to brake in the middle of those. It's quite rough to see the mark, especially when you're following cars, but there's not much to go off here for a heavy braking zone. It's kind of strange, but we're gonna have to deal with it. So I try to brake in the middle of these two. Try to not turn in too early, because we got an exit that's going uphill again, so we want to focus on getting a good run from here. And again, 2 tires on the red and white curb. It's legal. As far as you can to the left side here before you start turning in. And this is where, especially with the Audi and the Lambo, you're going to be on the limit with the rear axle. Because we're going to be braking and slowing down at the same time as we're going to be turning. And in these cars, the rear likes to step out quite a lot when you do that. If you struggle with that, a car like the Mercedes is a lot more stable in this part of the corner. As you can see, the rear starts to step out here when we're braking and turning at the same time. But you want to be close to that limit. And you want to run to the outside here again. 2 tires on the white and red curb, like we're used to by now, to open up the corner. And try to set up again for a good exit. You can run a bit wide here over the exit curb. I normally try to stay off of this because this upsets the car a bit. Get a bit better line, but you lose a couple hundreds because of the traction that the car loses going over the curb. You got this awesome section of elevation. Car gets compressed into the road, so we can keep it really tight to the left side here. And we want to do that to make sure that when we're braking, we brake as much in a straight line as we can. I'm braking just before I hit the top of the hill. There's a white line here, but I found that it's quite tricky to see when you're coming up. So I just like to brake when I'm getting close to the top of the hill. And then again, because we're turning and braking at the same time, we're not braking too hard. We try to brake as much in the straight line as we can. But the moment we start turning a lot, we're really patient on the brakes, really low on the brakes to make sure that that rear sticks, and then just try to keep the speed up. You can run quite wide in the exit here, because the next left-hander is easy flat. And we're braking again, maybe like 20 meters before the white line on the right side. I think it's quite hard to see this white line until you're really close to it though. So what I'm using as a reference for now is this patch of rubber on the track. And try to brake around there. Just try to keep the speed up again. It's not really important what your exit speed is here. And all the way to the left side. Again, small bit on the braking. Try to keep the speed up. The rear will be a bit unstable in the cars here. And then quite early you can go on the throttle because the radius of the corner keeps expanding a bit. And last corner is quite tricky still. Again, because the rubber line goes inside quite early. I like to stay on the left side. As you can see, 2 tires on the red and white curb, 2 tires on the green. I like to stay on the left side quite a bit longer than this rubber line goes, to almost at the end of the curb. I'm bring it to the inside. And then small lift here. Not completely, but not full throttle. Just before you get to the top of the hill to get the car to rotate. And then the moment you're on the downhill again, you can be on throttle again. You can see the car even turned a bit too much for me like this. And we go off a full throttle here, not because we have too much speed, but to get a bit of weight on the front end of the car. And it gets the car rotated through the corner quite a bit more. Right, so that's a lap around the new Algarve circuit. Right, so there we go. As you can see, quite a tricky track, but a lot of fun. Should be some decent overtaking as well. Would I recommend everyone to try it, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And see everyone next week.